the amount of times that a person needs to see your brand before they actually convert into a customer. And I just wanted to talk to that about anybody who's starting a business or going through some of these things. A lot of times we just run a campaign and think, hey, that I'm gonna just get a whole bunch of things flooding in. But can you kind of talk to like the psyche of what that goes into? Because I know there's a marketing term that you're supposed to have like 5 to 7 touches with a brand before they actually become a customer.
That's actually true. I would say the conversion is 10%, meaning if you reach maybe 10 people, you know what? Only one people are going to buy your product, not out of 10. That's it. Only one person going to buy your product. So it just gives me like, you need to reach out a lot of people to actually start making something, because it's 10% the conversion. It's not actually, and for someone to really get like, you know, the brain to really get it, it's definitely, I may need to see that brain 5 to 6 times before actually, oh, what is that? You know, I see over here again, and over here again. And I see people talking about it. Then I'm going to get interested. But it doesn't mean I'm going to buy it right away. But I'm going to see a review, comments, people posting about it. Then, you know, just because I want to do like everyone else, let me try that. I've been seeing people buying that. So if I go in a store and I see your brand, because I already saw it online in magazine, in blogs, or on Instagram, then I'm probably going to go for your brand instead of other brand that I actually don't know about.
And that's interesting, because I like how you just talked about also being in different outlets too, because a lot of times we'll get stuck on, okay, I just want to promote on Instagram, or I just want to promote on Facebook or something like that. But you just said, you know, if you start seeing it here, there, everywhere, it's now it's like, okay, this brand is following me. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. But it's actually not, right? But it's that just Instagram is not enough. It will probably gain you interest, but it will take more time for you to becoming a client or a customer. But like I say, if I see something on Instagram today, and then I go on Facebook and I see the same thing, and then let's say I go on Pinterest or Twitter and I keep saying the same thing, even I go outside and I see that again. Guess what? When I'm going to looking, if I'm looking for, I don't know, shoes, you know, and I see that brand again, when I'm going to try to buy some new shoes, the first thing that I'm going to do is to go for that brand, is to look for them, because having seen that for so long and so many times that, you know, it just makes sense for me to buy that.
Having that brand awareness.
I kind of want to go into the strategy. So a lot of times with small businesses, especially Black small businesses, that we tend to intermingle the brand awareness versus selling the product. Can you go into how you strategize for a brand awareness campaign versus selling a product campaign?
Well, because it's definitely two different things. Bring awareness around your product is just like you want people to know your product, meaning the strategy will be totally different. You know, you're not going to tell that much more. You're going to try to tell a different story. You're going to try to bring more info. But when you want to sell a product, go straight to the point. This is the product. This is why you should buy it. This is the price, the quantity, period. Go straight to the point when you want a customer. But if you want people to learn more, because at the end of the day, awareness is that learn more about the product, then, you know, you're probably going to tell more about the story, focus more about the why, focus more about the how. But when you want to sell it, you focus about the price, the quantity, the quality, and period. So, you know, I know what I'm buying right now. But if I'm trying to learn more, then I'm going to try to find out why and how. And for that, I would say you don't need to go on all the platform to sell, because not all the platform, you know, are good to sell product. You're going to focus on the one, you know, that, okay, my audience, my customer goes there. So I want to go there and advertise over there.
That's some major right there. That actually going where your target audience is, because we talking about a lot. How Jalen was saying, whenever you do the physical marketing, like all these different traction channels, you need to focus on the one that brings you the most. Like you shouldn't disperse your areas. I'm trying to think about the name of the book that I read. It's actually called Traction. Yeah,
a book is called Traction.
Yeah, a book called Traction, and it's talking about the bullseye method. When it comes to that type of thing, when you're marketing, where it's like you don't want to focus all your efforts everywhere. You should really focus on the one that works the most, and then have your two ancillaries that you push. That way,
Exactly.
like you're not trying to spread your brand too thin.
Yes, exactly. You need to go where you know you're going to win. Don't lose your time trying to go everywhere. Sometimes everywhere is not good. So just concentrate and focus on who are your audience, who are your clients. Sometimes, even if it's just three of them, it's worthy because if the three of them buy your product and then, it's all worthy.
And you spoke on audience. I think that's something huge, especially for businesses, and especially when you're starting out. Is how do you determine what my target audience is?
Well, that's like a study. See who is actually interested in your brand. When you post something, see who gonna like, who gonna comment. See the type of people who actually brand. See with the competition first. Check on them. What type of people buying or are interested with the brand, so you can actually have a better idea of who can buy your product too. And then when you actually start doing the awareness around the product, see who is interested. And then sometimes it will be more female or it will be more male, young, older people, trying to really pay attention to who is actually interested to your brand. And then you have a niche. You can like try to build something around it.
I think that's perfect because a lot of times where a lot of businesses they tend not to have a niche. They try to say, "Well, I'm selling everybody. I'm selling
Everybody my
anybody."
customer.
Yeah, everybody is my target audience. Well, it's really not. It's
Absolutely
really
not.
a target sort of people that you should really be trying to focus on.
Yes, absolutely. Check the competition always. Check them. Check them out. Whenever they do, sometimes they do it right, sometimes they do it wrong, but you should take the lesson from that.
I like that.
So, Jan, I want to hop into marketing campaigns a little bit more. So, can you break down like what's some of the key components of like a good marketing campaign?
I would say a good marketing campaign is the one who actually tell the right story. That's so simple. Tell the right story. Sometimes it can be like just a word, two word, an image or something. But if you're telling the right story and gonna catch people attention, you get it. Remember, like it's all about catching people attention. It's all about it. So sometimes is do you know the company Casper, the mattress
The
one?
mattress company, yeah.
Mhm.
Did you see the campaign on the subway in New York? Maybe you haven't, but they have like a major campaign on the subway in New York, and it was all about drawing. No, nothing, not a word of just drawing. You know, that's it.
Hmm.
And all the time it was like over here, and even want to check because you know what, you want to learn more. What's they trying to say? I've been seeing that, but I don't know what is that. And I bought a mattress, a 2000 mattress, but I don't even want to buy it.
It worked though, huh?
It
They just
works
get in your
always.
mind though. They speak to you like you said. Them touches as we were talking about earlier. The more you get in their face, like you be top of mind.
Exactly. Exactly. For
And
real.
I kind of want to go into what was it like with you working for you with your first client, and how was that different from working on your own campaign, and how did you kind of like learn from that?
It was complicated, and shout out to her because she was very patient with me. I was, I was just, I didn't know what exactly I was doing, to be honest, but I know that I could get her somewhere. So it just always this is how I learned how to process. I learned kind of like everything because doing something for you and doing it for someone else, it's so different. For you it can be easy, but and then it's someone else's brand, someone else's story, someone else's vision, and you have to understand her first because if you don't understand her, it's not gonna work at all. So it was all about it. Like she got a vision, and I was trying to take that vision and make it like a story and publish it. It was challenging, but I appreciate she was very patient, and I actually learned myself how to be patient and how to kind of understand and listen to people, listen to a brand. It's so important. First of all, listen and then try to understand. When you understand what she wants, it's so much easier. So it was like struggling. I'm not gonna lie. It was struggling.
I'm glad you shared that though, because like that's real. Like the first time
Yeah.
you do anything, like as a business owner, everybody want to be perfect from the
Mm-hmm.
start, and that's not
You
how shit
can.
works. Like if you want to get better at something, you just got to go through those growing pains, those learning pains. It's good to share that story because people will hear it now and like, oh man, you got the publicity, you know how to do all this. They see you as an expert, but every expert starts out
Yes, that's
as
someone.
somebody who
Yes.
didn't know nothing.
Exactly. Yes. There is a
And
part on anything.
I'm kind of glad you said that. So if there was someone who was wanting to get into this realm, into this industry, what would it look like to say, okay, I want to become a publicist and then I want to take this to the next level and start a firm?
I would say take your time. Make sure you have the right relation because you know what, you can know everything, but if you don't have the right relationship in media, is may not gonna be worthy. And make sure like you can get some client too. Make sure you have some good contact because if you don't have them, you're not gonna be a publicist. That
So
I would say that's the major one. I would say
Mhm.
educate yourself a little bit about media, about public relation, just to make sure like you can really you can like it because not everyone like it. They think like they want, but when you in, it's a different it's a different story. And make sure that you have some contact. So whenever you want to start by building your network first, because if you don't have contact, like I said, I don't pitch to random journalists. I pitch to people that I know, people that I already met. Meaning, if I pitch you, if I tell a story, they're actually going to publish you for sure.
You're not shooting in the dark. You trying to get that 100% shot. Yeah,
But it also speaks to just like your network being your net worth.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
once you know a certain people are like, once you know
that's
who to
all.
contact, it's all that. So I'm glad you said that because I just wanted to ask you that because I know it's not for the people who's an introvert. This is more
Hmm.
so like you said in the beginning, this is really public relations. And you have to
Exactly.
be a person who's able to speak to someone, but also communicate really well and just really
Someone who knows communication, definitely.
and how do you foster those relationships? How do you go about saying, okay, this is how we're going to build a good relationship? If anybody was interested in figuring that out.
Well, how I build a relationship with the journalist? Well, if I know them and then I got introduced, sometimes you need like I would say the guarantee. So it's like someone introduced me to someone. And then to keep that relationship, I don't know, I'm going to send you flowers. I'm going to pay attention to what you're doing. If you publish something good, I would say, hey, congratulations. I'm going to comment on what you're doing. I'm just going to keep the relationship going. I'm going to encourage you and support you in everything that you do. So, I'm sure like next time, if I do something or if I need to be supported, you're going to do the same. And most of the time, the way I need to be supported, it's by you publishing one of my clients. So
And I,
I just want to speak more to communication, just with that, like, cause I mean that's makes so much sense. But I'm thinking about communication from a different aspect, with the brand story. So with brand stories, what are some like elements, some key elements that go into making a brand story?
it's the human part of the brand or of the story. When you write a story, you want to make sure like there is a human part in it, like it's made by real people. And for that, tell the story of the person. It's depend of the writer that you have. If you have a good writer, and then you're going to write a good story about your brand. But most of the time, we'll say put some humanity in that.
just so they it's more relatable and really able to catch people and people are like, oh, I've been through
Yeah,
this
me too.
situation or something
Exactly.
like that.
People can identify themselves to that.
I got
Like,
you.
yeah, me too. Like, it happened to me too, or I definitely feel you, or I feel that.